I have absolutely nothing to talk about.
Nothing to talk about whatsoever.
Talk about a YouTuber a bunch.
So what are we going to talk about? Well,
speak
yeah,
about
there's
that
a
on
couple
the-
of things.
on the podcast?
Yeah. Well, we'll bring it up at some point.
I think go.
I think what?
I think what? What'd you say? Yeah, that was a shame. Do you know what's a shame about the whole situation with YouTube? Is that the episode felt good.
I feel like it was a good episode.
People were
I feel like it was
commenting,
good.
I was getting
and the
feedback.
first like 24 hours was like
It was the best video.
the most viewed video we've had.
It would have got past 1,000.
And then
which would have been
YouTube
huge.
just decides, for reasons, this. Yeah, we don't want this.
What's tricky as well is that I don't know. I mean, if people probably don't know about the whole YouTube process.
I don't know. I think
how
they
it
do know
works.
because there's been quite a lot of like high profile people recently that have gone through the same sort of stuff, and they've had to reach out to YouTube and be like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, sure.
And there's been really massive inconsistencies as well. There's been cases recently where people have essentially made videos about the exact same subject matter, and they've used the same clips, essentially, and then one video has been taken down for like copyright or for like violations or whatever, and then other videos haven't been taken down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
weird.
what do you mean? It's like you've cited it's because we've used these clips, and I've used the exact same clips as these other videos, and I can't remember who it was, but they literally did a list of a bunch of different videos, like 8 different YouTube creators that had all made videos about the same subject and had all used the same video clips, and his channel got singled out. And then all that happened is it resulted in all of the other channels getting restricted as well.
Yeah.
But I can't remember, but it was something that was so stupid as well, and it's like, how can this possibly be a violation? But I think it's like there's no transparency with YouTube.
That's the problem. So, and for context, obviously last week we put an episode out, and if you're sat going, I know what you spoke about, then let us know. But basically, it was climbing up. It was the best performing video we've had. Engagement was really good, but also it's about the organic growth of like, or not organic growth, but like the algorithmic growth.
Yeah.
So YouTube was showing it to lots of people, and then it stopped. So we saw this, like it hit this level, and it's only happened one time before, and we found out it was because we spoke about or we breached their sensitive events policy, and that's apparently what happened last week as well. So it prevents the algorithm from picking it up, it prevents people from seeing it prevents any adverts from going out or anything like that. But when I dispute it, I'm like, what sensitive event? Like I swear we didn't talk about any sensitive events. But also, the policy isn't you can't talk about sensitive events. It's specifically about the examples they give is like, if you were to say the victims of a sensitive event were responsible or weren't, you performed a hate crime towards them. So we don't know. But anyway, love you, YouTube.
But the thing is,
Brilliant.
though, there's so many issues with it, right? Is one, we obviously didn't breach any terms and conditions because the video didn't get taken down.
Yeah.
We didn't have a strike against the channel, right? But the other issue, right, is how are you supposed to make sure that you're falling within terms and conditions if when your video gets sort of like attacked or whatever by YouTube and be like, we're killing this video essentially. How are you supposed to like govern yourself as a channel if you don't even know what you've said that has ticked it off? And then the third issue, who defines what a breach of a serious event is?
Yeah.
Who's defining what words you can and can't use in the
gonna-
context of it? It's so stupid.
This week on Indiana's show, we're going to talk about how the...
You're an idiot. We're gonna have to blank that out.
I will. No, I've been thinking. Roll the intro. What they've just heard is I just said we're going to talk about, and it's just going to be a series of. How's your week been, B?
It's been a normal week, a regular week. Nothing's really happened.
Where we're not going to talk about anything naughty, so we don't end up in YouTube prison.
Yeah. It's not good being in YouTube prison. Seeing your little
it
video,
annoyed me.
like performing really well.
You're all
and
proud
like,
of it.
Look at it. This is our best performing
He's
video.
going
and
off
then,
to school.
BAM!
Mate, careful with the BAM.
No views. No views after that.
Yeah, no, it was crazy.
Funny old world, isn't it?
Been an interesting week though. Shorter week at work because everyone had Easter and stuff.
Yeah, happy Easter,
So that's,
everybody.
Oh, I guess it's Easter, isn't it?
Yeah, because even people that aren't religious celebrate Easter just because of the whole.
I don't
like,
really know what
either
Easter
Easter
is.
egg thing. Well, it's Jesus, isn't it?
Is it?
It's to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus.
What's the bunny about?
Well, that's just commercial greed.
Well, and it's, I guess, like, Christmas makes sense to me, but then you get all of this time off on Easter, and I don't know what I'm grateful for. I'm not going to complain, but I don't know what.
Because we live in a Christian country, and although I think, I'm just not a fan of religion. It's great to celebrate it because you get your little egg, you get your chocolate egg. Here's a question.
Yeah.
I've just thought of: do Americans have Easter eggs?
I have no idea. I'm not
aware.
Do they roll them before they eat them?
And that's the thing as well.
Does anyone else roll them before they eat them?
I think that was just.
Nah,
and the thing is, though, we didn't even get brought up in a religious family.
No, but the rolling of the Easter egg was to symbolise the stone.
You're supposed to roll your Easter egg to symbolise the stone getting rolled out of the tomb.
I'm going to say this once. Stop banging the goddamn desk. Every single time I was editing, I was like... and it's just like a punch in the head.
Okay. But, so
you
symbolise you roll your egg.
And it's the stone...
Thank Jesus
for just being himself and coming back from the cave.
But then I also don't know where the bunny comes from.
I think that's just commercialisation, isn't it? It's like Santa. The
is it
bunny
because it's
is
like
Santa.
Springtime, bunnies are appearing.
Maybe. I don't know enough about spring or bunnies.
Do bunnies hibernate?
I'm
basing all of this on one bit from The Last of Us game.
Oh, sure.
Bunny comes out of the hole in the snow.
Yeah.
And then gets brutally murdered by an arrow.
It's a big meme, isn't it? Because all the streamers are like, that's the most adorable thing about it.
Well, it's like there's two kinds of people. There's like, oh my god, that's... And then there's people that laugh. But, yeah, maybe it's because, I don't know. But, I mean,
I'll take it.
It's
the same as...
commercial bullshit.
It's the same as on Monday, I'm off because it's something to do with the royal family. And I don't care for the royal family, but I'll have a day off.
It's just Easter Monday, you idiot.
No, we have an extra bank holiday. Is Easter Monday a thing?
Yeah. You have Good Friday and then Easter Monday.
I don't know. What's Good Friday?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, surely you remember this, because we didn't grow up in a religious family, but we did grow up in Christian schools. But, like, I don't know if that is the same now. I don't know if kids that go to school now still
Church
have
of England
to deal
school
with the same
shit. All things bright and one beautiful, all creatures. Well, let's not get a copyright strike from Jesus.
But because do you not remember, like, the week of Easter? I think, like, maybe Thursday. Because you were off on Friday, right? And Monday.
Yes.
From school.
Oh, probably.
But Thursday, you would go to church and have like an Easter ceremony.
I do remember that. No, I do remember
And it was kind of a double-edged sword, because as a kid, you were like, this is fantastic because we're not doing any work today.
But we're in
right?
church.
And in the morning, you would have like other activities that weren't school-related. Right, like I don't know, coloring contests or some bullshit, and then you'd be like, "This is great," but then you would have to go to a church ceremony.
Yeah,
and I don't want to offend religious people, but I feel like if you're not religious,
they're pretty boring.
That's just
pretty dull.
It's just like staring at a wall.
They can be interesting, but in the sense of like, like what did you just say?
No. But also, actually, I've just unlocked a memory. I remember the organist. Right, that played at the church that we would go to, right, on the other way.
Yeah.
Used to just play, like, while you were waiting for the, like, sermon? Is that the right word?
I don't know.
To begin.
Yeah, service.
Right? Service, yeah. He would just play, like, Star Wars, like, songs and, like, Lord of the Rings and stuff. Yeah. He would just be, like, you'd be waiting and you'd be sat in a church and he'd be just like, duh, 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 duh.
That's wild. I don't remember that at all.
Stuff,
Father
Good
Hugh?
Stuff.
No, not
Father
him.
Ted?
No, well, I remember that at the church, he probably isn't there now because they move them all around when they go naughty, when they go rogue. But
well, no, that's the Catholic Church.
No, the Church of England has done that as well.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know enough. Well, I'm just thankful I didn't go to churches a lot.
Enough.
Yeah, but safety in numbers, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I don't think it is.
No, because like the whole school goes to church, and there was no like one-on-one.
Yeah.
Like session.
Well, unless you were like a choir boy or something.
I mean, is this going to get done for?
I don't know. Something else is a different category.
Serious offence.
Oh no, we're not blaming them.
No.
They were choir boys.
Anyway, that's Easter. That's why Easter.
That's Easter. That's Easter. No, what I was going to say is I remember the church that our school would go to was run by a man called Father Hugh. And the only reason I remember him is because he used to go to open mic night. So when I first started playing music, I would go to this open mic night and play like... I remember the first song I played was Same Jeans.
Have you just doxed someone?
Father Hugh. There's got to be 100,000 Father Hughs in England. That's fine. There may be location. They may... Probably... I don't know. He was fine. He was a good guy. Good guy. I didn't hear any church-related business with him. So he was a good guy. He would go and play... You would get 3 songs at this open mic, and he would play these like Bob Dylan covers with an acoustic guitar.
That's cool.
And he'd have the thing. Yeah, but no, because it was really bad. Like his mouth organ harmonica.
Yeah.
His harmonica playing not great at all. So it was very
Worse
like
than mine.
yeah, it was. And he played these songs, and they would
but
be
I've
like.
I've taken no lessons. I haven't even attempted to. I haven't even attempted to learn it. I just
didn't take any lessons either.
I figure it out. I'm like, ugh.
So he'd sing and play, and it'd be fine. But the songs would be like 15 minutes each. So the rule was 3 songs each. And like he'd go on, and I'd play 3 quick songs, and then he'd come up, and everyone would be like, "Oh," and get their pints and go smoke. Good memories. Sorry about the coughing, everybody. That's the only thing that's happened this week is that I've just been ill.
Yeah.
I was really ill on Wednesday. I had like a flu. Couldn't really move, but I'm bouncing back, feeling great. Didn't sleep last night at all because of Max. That was cool. That's my week, basically.
Cool.
Yeah,
cool.
We played some F1. That happened.
We did play some
F1. Any music news? Oh wait, no. Do you know what? We've got channel news, really.
Channel news.
Because we can't skip past the fact that I'm drinking out of this
we're not going to be those
glorious. Well, I'm gonna say it. Look.
There's merch available if you want to go and buy merch.
Here's the thing. I know that we're not big enough to have merch. I'm aware of that.
He's got carried away.
No, this
he went
is
on
the
a
story.
goddamn website, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like I'm just getting it's actually pissing me off.
I don't know why.
I'm like trying to play some game, like trying to do League of Legends or something. My phone's going off like that, and I'm like, it must be important. And it's like another sweater that you've designed. We've got enough merch to sell merch for like if this gets big. We don't ever have to design merch ever again because you've got like a whole hard drive full of merch.
Yeah. So here's what's happened. So basically, I know that we're not big enough to have merch, but a couple people were like, if you had a t-shirt for sale, I would buy a t-shirt from you. Right? There are people that want to support us, and that's really cool. And if people do buy a t-shirt, a hoodie, a mug, whatever, we can use that for advertising and stuff and help us.
Badges?
I can sort some badges out.
I was hoping you were going to say we don't need no stinking badges.
No, it would be good though. I was looking at badges. I'll ruin the Blazing Saddles joke because I do like the idea. So and the truth be told, we won't get that much money from it at all, really. But we get enough to maybe run an advert or something, grow the channel a bit. So if you are interested, as you said, I got carried away. I had so much fun designing t-shirts. So I was like thinking of what I would want to wear. So all of them were like, because sometimes I see people release merch and it's like their logo, but it doesn't look good. So I don't want that.
There is a bit of an epidemic of like really crap merch.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, I really like this company. I'll look into some merch. Garbage.
Yeah.
It's like I would never wear that ever.
So we've got a few different options. You're repping one now. You've got your Indie in a Show little logo on.
Simple.
White tee. You can change the colours of the tees. I called this the fake fashion tee. So I was going for like ripping off other companies. They always have the little writing with the established. This came out great. Like this is it arrived and I was annoyed at. I showed you this morning. I was like, the quality of the t-shirt's so good. It's going to be one of my favourite t-shirts now, but it's from a podcast that I'm on that has like 700 views if we don't speak about anything naughty, so it's a bit weird. But just go to indianashow.com and there's t-shirts, mugs. I've tried to make them really cheap, so I think the t-shirts are £15 each. Or 2 for 25. Not all of them, because not all of them, because maybe a couple months ago I was saying we were talking about fashion, and I said
that's a joke, right?
Yeah, we were talking about fashion, and I was like, it's so stupid. You may as well just have a t-shirt that says this costs £300. So we've released those. So if anyone wants, One thing I did do though, so the £300 one.
Please don't buy anyone that don't.
Yo, no, I would feel so bad.
Joke.
Here's what I would want.
I feel like we need to take them off.
No. Here's what I would want though.
Although actually, if you're dumb enough to buy a t-shirt for £500, then like, good luck to you.
And I've done the SEO. So when people are if people are googling like baller t-shirts, right, or like expensive flashy t-shirts, they may get our store with that link. And if those people buy it...
This is genius, because there might be people that like have never even heard of us. Exactly. They don't even care about
those are the people that can buy that top.
They want a t-shirt so that they can just have it. That says it's like, this t-shirt costs £500.
Yeah. And a part of me is like, if we market it right, we may be able to sell a couple of those to idiots. And I'm fine with that. But if you're watching, just ignore that part of the store. It's not for you. Here's the truth.
Well, unless they want it. We're not going to tell people what they can and can't do.
Our sales are through the roof, and it's all £500 t-shirts because people are like, "Hey, fuck you! I'm going to buy what I want." No, so sorry about the cough. It's so annoying, isn't it? People coughing on a podcast. I hate it. But it's me. The £300 one. So it says this t-shirt costs £300. Exact same t-shirt as the one you're wearing.
I'm aware of it. Yeah.
Not the one just because I've got the. I think it's called Dark Heather, the colour, but it's like the. When you look at the pictures, some of them will be solid colours and they're like that, and then others are like.
I mean, this segment has gone
textures.
Way too long.
No, but I was just saying that the £300 one is the exact same t-shirt, but the £500 one, I was like, I need some difference. So I just found a supplier that has a slightly more expensive t-shirt that like prints slightly more expensively, and that one is like, it costs like £15 instead, but still, if you're buying a t-shirt,
technically better value.
Yeah, like, it's higher quality. It's higher quality. Yeah. Okay. But the profit percent is still like 99% because it's stupid. Cool. But yeah, anyway, so there are some t-shirts on there that are just logos. I've tried to make them look as nice as possible. If you do want to support the channel and you've already submitted music, because that's the first thing I would say people do. If you want to support the channel, send a song in.
No, I'd say the first thing is to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
So like and subscribe.
That's the minimum.
Sure. Yeah. Submit music is nice.
Yeah, that's a bonus.
Buy a t-shirt. And look, as I said, I've made them.
Be part of a cool, trendy.
Yeah, like, you could be that guy.
What is that?
What's that? And you're like,
it's just something. You wouldn't understand.
You're like a little. I'm supporting an up and coming podcast artist. I don't know. And as I said, the profit margin is almost non-existent.
We don't make any money.
If you want us to not make any money at all, use code BEANS.
yeah.
BEANS gets you 15% off anything in the store.
Beans pretty much means we don't make any money from it.
Beans means broke. Yeah. To be fair, I think there's a couple items that if they order, I'll lose money, but that's fine.
Use
beans.
Beans.
So there we go. That's that section. I think this t-shirt might make a reappearance though, because it's entering the cycle for me because it looks good. It feels good.
The fabric's nice.
Yeah, it's
but
nice.
Anyway, this was way too long. We spent way too long talking about
music news.
We don't even expect. There's not really a lot that's happened.
Someone from S Club 7 died.
Yeah, some unexpectedly.
Sad.
Another sudden death.
Wasn't he quite young as well?
Like 46 or something.
47?
Maybe something around that.
Too young.
Yeah, too young. So that's a bit sad.
He reached up for the sky.
I think they just announced like a tour as well, like a reuniting. A reunition?
No, reunite. A reunion tour.
A reunion tour. They just announced a reunion tour, so that's a bit sad. Apart from that, there's not really anything that's happened. I read that Lily Allen's got ADHD. That's about it.
That shows that nothing happened.
No, absolutely.
You bought Lily. I've got a couple.
The only reason I was scouring the internet, there's not really a lot that's happened. Couple of minuscule lawsuits here and there, but they didn't really matter. But
I saw a really fascinating.
The Lily Allen one, I brought it up. I feel like there's an epidemic at the moment of people like dragging out anything they can to sort of show how hard their life is.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm like, it's getting out of hand. But ADHD, right? The reason I'm going to attack Liliana a little bit, and it's unfair because I read the article and it's like I don't think she was necessarily sort of like bringing it out. I think it just came up.
Then the article's taken
but it's like, so what?
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's got ADHD. Jesus Christ! Like everyone has got some form of ADHD, right? I've never been tested.
You
right?
don't need to be tested.
I've definitely got ADHD, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But I think I'm also I'm at least a little bit autistic, right? I'm at least a little bit autistic, and I don't mean like the kind of cool kind of autistic.
Oh my
God! Where you have like superpowers.
This is a
like,
YouTuber coming for us.
Like
what
Rain Man.
Yeah,
I'm the sort of autistic where
you got all the other stuff.
you dribble with your mouth open for a bit too long.
That's not autism. Look.
That's sleep apnea.
Here's the thing. I think we're in that crossover of the generations where, from our time, it's just shut the fuck up and get on with it.
Yeah.
That's the attitude. So it's like, oh, he doesn't focus great or whatever. Is like, just shut up and get on with it and just focus, right? Whereas now, it's a bit different. Well, I think the world is adapting and it's trying to be like as accessible and, you know what I mean? It's trying to make it fair for everyone and all of that stuff. But we're from a bit of a different time. That, as you say, Lily Allen, who was a singer, presented a TV show for a bit called Lily Allen and Friends. It's all right. Whatever. Like, no one cares that you have ADHD, apart from, I guess, if there are people that are really struggling with ADHD, they could be like, oh, Lily Allen is my hero.
Yeah, but this is the thing, though, as well. It's because I feel like with, like, autism or whatever, there's a spectrum, right? And I feel like, yeah, there are people that have crippling ADHD, right? They cannot focus on anything, right? And that's tough. I can imagine that's a horrible thing to sort of live your life through. But everyone has got a certain amount of ADHD. Jesus Christ, there's always times of the day where you can't focus on anything.
I wonder how
many
people...
Or you get fidgety or whatever, or like... And I'm more on the scale of ADHD probably than most people, because I mean, I'm all over the place. But,
well, yeah, a conversation between us is a nightmare.
Oh,
because,
yeah.
And we have a podcast, so we're just stupid.
But I think my point is like, who cares? It's like, it's not holding you back. It's not affected Lily Allen's career.
No.
Why do we always have that? Why does everyone has to have something? Everyone has to have like, oh, but I've been through this. Yeah,
and it's always from the people that's like, I think
they've made it.
Yeah, like
people that are like
like bollocks famous, really rich. She married David. What's his name? Gilmore. David
Crockett.
David Spade. No.
I think maybe
Gilmore. The fella from
Gilmore
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
You're doing fine, so you don't really have to. But again, as you say,
I think it was more on the article.
Yeah, and they kind of take anything. I hate it. Like, I've been disengaged with like mainstream news outlets for a while. But every time I see a post now, I look at it and I'm like, this is such bollocks. Like, they're just generating any amount of controversy just for people to go, oh, no, actually, this is inaccurate. And it's like, okay, you've just done what they want, because they're just trying to drum it up.
I think the absolute worst are Sky News on Twitter.
Oh, sure. The Sun on Facebook as well.
The Sun on Facebook is awful as well. But it's just like, there's just this crazy like headline, and you click on it, and it's like, what the hell is this?
It'll be like Charlton Athletic to liquidate, and then you go onto the article, and it's like, the owners have pulled out of the transaction. You're like, what's happening here?
It's honestly,
journalism.
It gets to the point now where it's like, I didn't even click on the news stories.
Yeah.
Like, it could be a serious news story now, and I'm like, I'm not clicking on Sky News.
Yeah, not at all. I don't want to give them the.
Yeah, I'm not going to give them a click.
One...
Like, I now rely on like independent news.
I rely on
outlets.
TikTok more than anything else.
Yeah,
TikTok shows me news now.
But here's the thing, right? I use YouTube creators, right, and independent like Twitter or like TikTok makers more than I do any news outlet.
Yeah, and do you know why though?
Like, I get more accurate news from Moist Critical, or Penguin Zero, the same people, right, than any news broadcast.
I agree, but it's about conciseness, right? So like, when someone's like, oh my god, have you heard about the Schmickel disaster, right? Because I don't want to say anything real, because then Mr. Steve YouTube comes after us.
Takes away our Schmickels.
Yeah. I can't stop coughing. It's a really horrible cough. What I'll do is, I'll look up TikTok. I'll search on TikTok now and be like, Schmickel disaster. And then any of those videos will show me the information I need way sooner than if I YouTube Schmickle disaster and I get Sky News and The Sun and The Telegraph. They won't actually be showing the right things. It's just trying to, okay, we need to get the views, we need to get people hooked in on a live or whatever. So it's much as you say, content creators will be like, here's the snippet you need, I'll update you in a bit. And it's a lot easier. But I think it shows that the power is switching now. Like, people don't need the BBC to just spoon feed them information, because we have this network where you can get whatever you want and people show you the right thing immediately, because they're not trying to get the clicks.
I think there is a turn as well at the moment that's happening, because obviously, like, this whole situation has been bred out by the fact that obviously clicks generate like income, right? For news broadcasters.
Ad revenue.
And then unfortunately, like, drama and punchy headlines and you know, extreme stuff generates clicks, right? That's how it works. That's why you get these ridiculous headlines that are sometimes so misleading. That it gives you the complete opposite of what's actually happened, right? But it generates a lot of clicks. Okay, but the problem is that the other sort of option is to have something like the BBC, right, which is a supposedly non-biased organisation, right? Funded by the people, run by, I mean,
the elite,
the government, essentially. But it means you get this super biased. I mean, the BBC is like one of the most biased news corporations out there, right? So that doesn't do any good either. So now you've got Sky News and the BBC, which are the two main like news outlets in the UK, right?
True.
And you can't, like, people don't trust those organisations now, right? So the only other option is to go to places like YouTube, where you've got people that are now, they're doing the news because they're invested in the news. Like, they just want to show a non-biased news channel. And I feel like there's a wave now with people going to authentic news broadcasters rather than big global conglomerate companies, because like these, like Sky News, are always going to be biased, because there's always a financial
a money trail.
You can always follow the money, and there's always a money trail back to the story that they're reporting on. Same with the BBC. And there's also, the BBC is more political as well. There's always a political trail when you look at the BBC stories, and it's like
we've said it before, like they're two sides of the same coin, but people love to, this has happened because of this party or this party. Like, the whole system is broken. BBC is a great example of that. Like, I can't think of anything more Orwellian than, we have this organisation, it's going to give you all of your facts, that's run by the government, that everyone is forced to pay for. So you guys will fund it yourselves to get your truths from us, and don't deviate from that. But yeah, I think the tide has changed for sure. I've got some music news. If we want to get off of news,
music news.
I don't really have much music
like
news.
I said, nothing's happened.
There were some April Fool's clips, and again, the news outlet is that there's backlash from all of these, and I don't think there's any backlash, but there was a singer who said she was pregnant.
Like
Did you see that?
Any time the media reports on backlash, when you actually look at it, there's like maybe 5 people like on Twitter,
and then the comments though as well, the comments will be like, oh, I cannot believe all of the people saying disgusting things. I'm like, where? Like, I can't see any of them.
Scrolling down for
I
like
can just
hours,
see you complaining about comments that I don't see.
Where are these comments? Where are these hate comments?
It's the same though. Whenever like a controversy, F1's a great example. A controversy will happen, and then you'll see like I remember last year, there was a presenter that joined. She didn't join last year. I think she joined the year before. Naomi Schiff, I think is her name. Naomi.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant presenter.
Like, she's really like her.
She's so. There's a part with sports where people want a link to the sport, right? And that's where it gets washy. But she is a racer. She has racing. She's grown up in that. More important,
right? Because you need. There's 2 things you need, right? You need the link to the sports. You need to be knowledgeable. You need to know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You also need to be camera friendly.
A presenter.
You have to have a personality. You have to be able to stand in front and be engaging.
Yeah.
Which is why I can't remember her name, but there's a new one in Formula 1, right? White lady, blonde hair, kind of scruffy looking.
Hair.
And,
No, I do know who you're on about.
I
She's
think she
come
might be
from,
Scottish.
She's come from Aston Martin. She was the Aston
Yeah,
Martin
I
strategist.
can't remember her name.
I can't
right?
remember her name either.
She is awful.
She might get there if the presenter side
Maybe
catches up.
but at the moment she does not have the presenter side. Every time that she interjected, not interjected herself. Any
she's a
time,
presenter.
Yeah, anytime she was like providing sort of information from pit. Like, dude, I can't remember what race it was, but she was essentially doing Ted's job.
Yeah.
Right, of like gathering information on the pit wall, and then coming in with updates during the race. I couldn't listen to her.
Yeah.
It was so hard to actually hear and understand what she was saying because she just has this really monotone thing. And I think that's a good example. Naomi comes in, she's intelligent, has all the knowledge, but then is also she has that. Not everyone is built for TV.
Yeah, and it took her a couple weekends where it's like a bit ropey, and that's what it is because you're broadcasting to millions and millions of people. But after a couple of weeks, I was like, she's great. She's so insightful. I think her takes are good. They're not like crazy for the controversy. She'll kind of
not like Ted or
exactly or any of that kind of the main Sky crew. But I remember there being this article that was like Lewis Hamilton was speaking up against the hate she's got. And I was like, what hate? And sure, like anyone,
there will be hate.
Anyone in the F1 feed, whether it's Nico Rosberg or Ted or Martin Brundle, have people that are like, I don't like this person.
And Ted is a good example at the moment because Ted is under fire.
100%.
Left, right, and centre. And I
100%.
think quite justifiably because recently, the last couple of years, Ted is borderline unbearable.
Yeah, I agree.
Unbearable. And I used to love Ted.
Yeah.
But I think it's like I don't want to get caught up on the whole Abu Dhabi stuff because we're going into an F1 segment now.
There we go.
Right, but he can't get over it. He cannot get over Abu Dhabi, and it's not a fact of like it doesn't matter whether you're a Lewis Hamilton fan or a Max Verstappen fan. I am just bored. I'm bored of Ted going on and on about Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Just get over it and report on what's happening now.
Especially because there's so much going on. But I guess the problem is, if you look at Mercedes now, Lewis Hamilton isn't winning races. George Russell is outperforming Hamilton massively.
Yeah.
And also, for all of the knobs last year that were like, oh, actually, he was trying parts and he had a different step, right? No, what's happened is Lewis Hamilton was phenomenal. One of the best drivers. He's not now. He's not at all. If you put him in the Red Bull, Max Verstappen now would beat the crap out of him every single race. Probably because he's past it. Maybe because he's not the same young kid that's investing everything into the race. But that's just the reality. But I think there's a disconnect there. Because even if you look at the Mercedes comments on their Facebook page, they'll be like really divisive and fighting amongst themselves. But I think it goes back, and I think we made this point a couple episodes ago, where it's like the fans of F1 are really tough. It's a horrible fan base to be in, because for me and you, we'll watch a race, and for myself, and I've been asked before, like, oh, who do you support? And I'm like, I don't support anyone. I support McLaren as a team. I would love them to do well. I've always loved the drivers they have. I love the team chemistry. But actually, like, anyone on the grid really could win it. I would love to see someone else that isn't Verstappen winning it, because that's exciting. Like, I like that George Russell has gone to Mercedes and he's challenging that, but I can watch the whole race. And someone battling for 10th is as exciting to me as whoever's going to win the race. Like, I want the whole race to be interesting, whereas
it's like,
F1 fans aren't that. They're like, I want my driver to win.
All or nothing. It's all or nothing on their driver, and it gets to the point where it is so toxic.
It's like golf now, though. Golf's the same.
With Liv and PGA and all that sort of stuff. But it is mental because, like I said, we're the same in that I'm more of a fan of Formula One than I am of any one particular driver. 100%. To the point where, like, the best race of, like, a recent history for me was Monza 2020, when that was the year that Hamilton and Max took each other out on the first corner.
I'll give you the date.
And then it was pandemonium. And was that Pierre Gasly one?
No.
It's Pierre Gasly, wasn't it?
No.
Oh no, that was the McLaren one too.
That was the McLaren one too, baby. Danny Rick.
No, but when was the Pierre Gasly win then?
Pierre Gasly.
Because that was a similar situation.
It was in Italy.
Well, then it was Monza.
There's multiple races in Italy. Imola, but I don't think it was Imola. It maybe was Monza the year before, or the year after.
No, it's definitely 2020.
Well, then it wasn't Monza.
Oh, 2021. Sorry. What was the
Abu
Dhabi
it
incident?
could have been 2020.
When was the Abu Dhabi incident?
21.
21.
Yeah.
We're in
Wait,
23.
I'm so confused because 20. How old is my son? 21. The date of I can give you the date of Monza.
Right.
Was that Danny Rick won?
Right.
Was the 12th of September 2021 because it was when Max was born. I missed the race. It was the best race of recent history. I missed it, and I just had you and like our little F1 group were all texting, being like, "Have you watched the race?"
That can't be right.
Obviously, I hadn't because I was in hospital.
That can't be right because the day. Well, it might be.
What do you mean? It is right.
No, because I remember.
It is right.
No, because I remember when you were at hospital, giving birth to Max.
For clarity, my partner gave birth to Max. I ate snacks and sat next to her for a few days.
He gave birth to Max. I was at Fort Park.
Is that true? I don't know. That's so funny.
Yeah, because I remember. Because you remember you messaged to ask if I could drive down and get a Subway.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't, man. I'm at Fort Park.
I didn't know that. That's funny. When did I eat Subway? Had Max been born when Subway happened?
Oh, Subway's been.
Here's the thing. We had a complicated birth. It was horrendous, but it meant that we were in hospital for a good few days.
Yeah, so it might have been.
So I don't know, but yeah, it was the 12th of September was when he was born, and I missed the race because we were in the hospital, and everyone, and then it was a brutal race to watch because everyone was like, "Have you watched the race?" And I was like, "No," and they were like, "You need to watch the race." I'm like, "I'm kind of busy," and they're like, "No, trust me, get your phone out and just watch the race." Yeah, and it was because of that. But yeah, no, I agree. That was great.
That's what I mean. It's like, and I'm sat there all of a sudden. Now I'm like, I'm shouting at the TV for Pierre Gasly to win.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like there's probably not anyone on the current grid that I wouldn't like to see win.
Lance Stroll. I don't care for Lance Stroll.
Of the list.
Yeah,
he's at the bottom of the list. But here's the thing: if for some
upset.
reason, here's the scenario, right? Max Verstappen's out in front. Lance Stroll's second. Max Verstappen has a small technical issue,
and
right, and Lance is catching him,
and he's in
lap.
DRS. Oh, right? I'm cheering for him.
I'm a Lance Stroll fan.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, 100%.
There's always a scenario in Formula One where I will cheer for every single driver on the grid. The only exception to that was when Mazepin was in there.
Sure, yeah, he was not great.
Whenever Mazepin was in, I'm like,
what? Here's a question then.
The nicest way possible, I want you to go off the track all the time.
Let's go from COVID races.
Yeah.
That might get us done on YouTube. I said the word COVID. Flannels YouTube.
I've seen other content creators have been calling it the coof.
Oh, is it the coof?
To avoid saying.
Are those content creators really going in on the coof though?
Yeah,
I thought
so. They also say stuff like a certain pharmaceutical company beginning with P.
Yeah, absolutely. No, okay, I kind of knew what the context probably was then, because there's a lot of articles now about the coof. But anyway, go from the coof then, and we'll finish the F1 talk. I'm so sorry for people that aren't interested in F1.
We might start time-stamping these bad boys. So
I could do the sections. I can't be bothered to do the. I could do the sections.
It doesn't take that long.
Yeah. Go from like COVID when we restarted. What's like the best race you can think of now in terms of a spectacle that you've watched? Because I've got one in the chamber for sure.
I can't remember.
It might be the same one.
Where they had literally just resurfaced.
Turkey. It's Turkey 2020. Yeah, and it rained.
The most nuts. Because even before it rained, there was no grip. It was a completely brand new track, so no one had ever driven over it. So it was like an ice rink. But then it rained as well.
Yeah.
That
I want to rewatch that race.
That
was the craziest race ever.
Every single driver spun.
The maximum average speed was probably like 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't go fast.
I don't know this for fact. Someone may correct me here, but every single driver spun. Because I know the driver at front spun twice.
Because Lance Stroll won that race, didn't he? I'm pretty sure that was Lance.
Or was it?
Because I want to say
Perez was Sakir.
Yeah. But I want to say
it could have been.
Because Vettel messed up on like the final corner.
You say Vettel so weird.
Vettel,
like it's a computer
Sebastian
company.
Vettel.
He's German.
Yeah,
He's
but
saying
he drove
Italian.
for Ferrari for so long.
Fair.
That it's like,
Wait, you're saying Vettel messed up?
I'm pretty sure Seb Vettel. I can't say the word now without sounding like an absolute goofball.
That is wild.
Sebastian Vettel, right? I'm pretty sure he was on like the final lap and he spun on like the last corner.
Yeah, possibly.
And then Lance went through to win.
And then Leclerc messed up a move to get second.
But I just remember the start. It was
yeah.
nuts.
Yeah, everyone went off at the start, but then also just throughout. What usually happens in F1 is the start is mental, you get into a rhythm, then there's a tactical battle, and if you understand that, that's exciting. So it's like, oh, this person is within this window, they may pit, they may get an advantage, all of this stuff is great. But if you're not into that side of it, that's when the race gets a bit dull. That's when the race kind of gets into a rhythm. Not that one, because every single lap someone was spinning off.
But then I also remember the first year at Portimao. Or was it? No, wait. I get confused because COVID, there's so many tracks that we've never ever been to back since. What was the one where first lap everyone went off, right? There's like 5 cars went off in the first corner. And then on the restart, do you remember Bottas was at
one of
front
the Italian
and backed
ones.
up everyone so much that the people at the back kind of thought that they were racing.
Yeah, I do remember.
And there was like a 6-car pile-up on the main
I want to say that was Imola, but I don't know.
It definitely wasn't Imola. It was... I can't remember what track it was. And I don't think it was Portimao. All I remember is that it was a long straight and then a right-hander that went up a hill and then left. And there was a massive gravel trap. And there was like 5 cars that went off or something. And Max was one of them.
Imola. What you just described. No,
but anyway,
it's not Imola. But yeah, I do remember that one.
My point is, 2020, hands down, the best Formula 1 season I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it's what got us back into it.
Crazy. I felt like every single race was nuts.
Didn't Drive to Survive came out the year before?
2019 season, I think.
Was the year before?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because that's why 2020 was like the biggest Formula 1 season ever, because people had watched.
I think we've said on this podcast before that I said to Becky, there's like this behind the scenes documentary coming out. I used to watch Formula 1, let's watch it. Yeah. And then because of that, we were like, cool, let's watch it. Yeah, 100%. Anyway, that's F1, sorry.
Absolutely mental.
The Masters is on. No, I'm kidding. Can you imagine? We now spend 20 minutes talking about golf. That'd be insane.
Oh, but I did want to break up because you just reminded me. Have you seen the what happened?
The trees.
The trees.
Oh, I have seen the trees. That was crazy.
Absolutely mental. I mean, for those that don't know what we're talking about, the Masters is at the moment, which is golf.
It's the first golf major of the year.
Yeah, it's one of the big ones. But like a random tree.
3 trees.
No, because I think 1 tree fell into 2 trees.
Okay, so
a
total of 3 trees.
Yeah, but a random tree.
Yeah.
Just fell over. Like it just came out the ground. It fell over, hit a couple of trees, and then there's 3 trees that just plummeted. Like big trees as well.
Like the long,
trees.
kind of American.
Yeah.
Big long, like these.
It's right in between 2 holes, so there's spectators everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I don't know how no one got injured.
I did see some funny comments there at Augusta where the Masters happens. There's a rule that you can't run. So at any other golf course,
like
people run to the
like
balls
Prometheus. You probably not seen Prometheus. There's a film Prometheus, an Alien sequel, like spin-off. Prequel. And there's a scene in it where a ship is falling, and it's like it's a big meme in the like movie Community because one of the main characters just runs
straight,
like straight,
like
away from
that.
it, and is like just step sideways, my man.
Yeah, like twice, 2 steps,
Yeah.
you're fine. No, yeah. So a lot of the comments were like, not allowed to run though. There were people running, and then everyone was coming like, yeah, they were kicked out. Like, they were kicked out for running away from the tree. But yeah, that's crazy. I wonder if it's because obviously it's like one of the pinnacles of golf. A lot of people say the Masters is the greatest golf event of the year. If you're British, you usually maybe lean towards the Open, especially at St Andrews. That's boring for most people. Most people that are into golf probably find this boring. But I wondered if it's because it's that big. Do they do work and do they put trees in and they, you know what I mean? Like, are they over preparing that the trees weren't settled? But I don't know. I don't know enough about trees.
I don't know. Can you just pop a tree in?
You can, and then just like do that.
Yeah, but I think what you've just done, he's just put a tree in the ground and then just like with his hands patted.
Yeah.
That might be what they did.
Yeah, that was the problem. They're like, man, you need to use a big old tree plugger
thing.
Yeah. Anywho, I saw another really interesting music bit. I got this from LinkedIn. I'm part of like a music business group that has like tens of thousands of people in. But someone posted on there, and I looked into it a little bit, but not enough. So we'll take all of this with a big old lump of salt. But someone has got a copyright strike and a video taken down for using AI generated music. Have you seen this?
Oh no!
They created Eminem sounding songs. So they used an AI generator to create songs.
I think I've seen
Eminem.
a video of that person doing that.
Yeah, I think they've got a series, but it got taken down. They got a copyright strike, which they lost the dispute against Universal or whoever owns Eminem. And I thought that was really interesting because it's not Eminem's music. It's not like, written by him.
It's not even written by a human being.
Yeah,
that belongs to a computer. Like, so who technically owns that though? Because surely there's an argument to say that the company that owns the AI software.
And this is where it gets really tricky, man. Because if I could right now, and I guess this is the legal question it opens. If I right now made Johnny Cash music, and it took every concert Johnny Cash had done to have his voice, write music that a computer generates and goes, oh, Johnny Cash, it looks at all of his songs, here it is, right? Is that owned by Johnny Cash? And if so, then like it's a slippery slope for music. Also,
especially with the deep fake situation that's happening as well at the moment. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I feel like most of the deep fakes I've seen so far, if you're not like a moron, most of them you can tell they're deep fakes because it's the mouth movements, not quite.
Yeah.
However, most of the deep fakes we're seeing are made by people like us.
Yeah.
Right? Or maybe a little bit more in the know, right?
Yeah.
The problem is that what's capable of people that have like all of the money, all of the equipment, and all of the time.
Yeah.
So like, there's no doubt out there. Like, there's no doubt in me that they could make deepfakes right now. Like from this sounds super conspiratory or whatever, but from like government level with the funding and the time and the resources they have, they could have deepfakes that are undetectable.
Yeah.
I've completely
100%. Well, and that's one of the things is that I know the previous version of ChatGPT, which we messed around with on the podcast, we had a great time with that. I know that there's a detector for that as well, right? So for like, if you're in school, you could just get ChatGPT to write your entire essay, right? And then you could read it and be like, no, make it this point, or whatever. You can edit it, but you could then copy that into this website, and it would detect if it was written by ChatGPT or not. I don't know how. But it only takes a very small amount of editing to prevent that. Like, I've played around with that, where I was like, oh, I've used this a couple of times practically.
A whole generation of school kids that are gonna just
they can just get the essay
their
done,
way through and
then they could just reword sentences, right? So if it says like Bill Bailey has great hair, you could then write an artist that has great hair is Bill Bailey, and then then you're fine.
Yeah, just like copying other people's work.
Yeah, you just change it up a bit. But it's really interesting. It's just it's a crazy, like, for the future of songwriting, for the future of music creation and covers.
Here's
and all
another
of
thing,
that.
just on while we're on the AI train. Did you hear about? I can't remember exactly the context of the situation, but an AI was asked to do a task, right?
I know what this is.
And it couldn't do the task.
Yeah.
So it hired a human to do the task.
I have the context there though, as
Like,
well.
But even without context,
Yeah.
this is getting out of
it's
hand.
further though. The context puts more depth in. So what it was they allocated money. It was like $500 or something to this AI software, and it was like, make more money from this. Make more money from this. And I think it was going to do like drop shipping or something, where it takes products like our t-shirts at indianashow.com, where it takes them, it sells them for a different price, makes a profit. The website had a captcha on it. So it had a, "Are you a robot?"
Oh yeah, that was it.
And then the AI's like, "Shit, yes, I am." It goes onto Fiverr.com to get a freelancer, like a cheap freelancer, sends him a message. AI, robot, no one is controlling this, going, "Hi, I'm starting a project. However, I need help setting it up, and one of the things is the capture. Could you do the capture for me?" The person replies going, "Lol, are you a robot?" And the AI says, "No, I'm blind, so I can't actually see the capture."
This is even worse.
It lied. It lied.
Oh my god! It's
And
like
then
self-aware as
It's
well.
it's
though.
self-aware. It lied, and then the guy's like, "Oh, okay, no problem. Yeah, of course I'll help," because it's pulled on the heartstrings. He's like, "Oh, I can help this blind."
Yeah, there's so many
Little
layers
does it
to
know,
this.
it's a laptop.
There's so many layers to this.
little
One, the
Lenovo.
AI is getting out of hand.
Yeah.
Like, we're like a stone's throw away from like a Skynet situation happening.
Yeah.
Right? But then two,
That's terrible.
I now can't trust blind people. This has gone out the window. It's gone out the window. But
Almost killed me. I'm red now.
it is crazy. It's
yeah.
crazy, dude.
It's one of the wildest
And
stories.
there's another thing I've just thought of, right? How is it that we've got AI, right, that is now capable of doing all of this stuff, right? We've got AI that can generate art,
Yeah.
right? And yet, sometimes when you have to fill out those capture things, you're still, as a human, being asked to type what is on the screen
What do you
into
mean?
a box.
Oh, why can't it just identify that?
Well, my point is surely an AI can do that.
Well, apparently not. Apparently not. I heard that the capture forms. You know when it's like, "Are you a robot?" and you
Yeah.
click it, and it's like, "You're not a robot." Apparently, and I think this is true. What it actually does. Do you know what that does? Because obviously, ticking that, you could just get a robot to tick that.
Yeah, but I think, is it more of just like of a legal...
No.
No?
What it is it looks at you tick that, and again, I don't know, take this with a pinch of salt, we're idiots. It enables the website to look at your behaviours. So your clicks, the last pages you're on, how you got onto it.
I am in trouble.
I know.
Excuse me, I've just got to go and bury something.
Just start destroying the laptop, even though it's mine. Yeah, apparently it's looking at that. So it looks at your behaviours and it's like, "Oh yeah, you are a human," because I can see that, you've clicked on a few
All
pages.
of them born.
Yeah, no robots watching this stuff. Most humans aren't watching
robot
this.
porn. What have you got, a robot porn fetish?
Yeah, and then it's like, "We don't know,"
Yeah,
and then it
over.
brings up a capture. But it's wild, yeah. So we're in this point now where you could see an article, a picture, a video, and I don't know. At what point can you be comfortable that it's real now? And as you say, I saw a one. If we go wild conspiracy theory, I saw there was an article saying how Joe Biden could already be dead. And you're like, okay, it's one of these, because that's always been a massive one, right? You take big famous people,
Yeah,
they
like the
died.
Queen. Like, people were saying
They
the
got
Queen
replaced.
was dead months before she died.
Yeah. It's happened with Kim Jong-un. you get it all the time. But what was interesting is this was more a case study. I don't think they were saying he's dead, but it was like, this is a case study of how do we know that we're seeing all of these clips, right, of his behaviours, but AI can just generate that now.
Yeah.
They can just generate a video. Maybe you make it a bit blurry, so, oh, this is on TV, live TV, blur it up a little bit, and then no one's going to know. The voice sounds perfect.
Yeah, and to the point where I've seen like AI generated like models, like photographic pictures of models.
Yeah.
And it's like you're looking at it and you go, oh Jesus, she looks hot. It's an AI generated person. It's not a real person.
Yeah. Insane. It's a weird. We're in a weird world. Robots are taking over. Should we listen to some music?
Probably.
And here's a question:
Yeah.
is it AI generated or not? Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows? So our first artist, I guess, is Nick Testa Jr. from San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Sunny San Francisco. Any guesses for genre? I'm on our store.
What's the name?
IndianaShow.com.
My God.
Mugs.
I love how I was like, I don't think we're big enough for.
I'm making
merch.
this
I don't want to
uncomfortable.
be
Yeah.
like the douchebags that are like,
Nice website,
you
though.
know,
Good t-shirts.
trying to sell merch all the time. And here we are.
Hey, look, if someone buys a t-shirt, though. Here's the thing. It'll take one person buying a t-shirt. Oh, I'm looking at this person's Instagram. A little premature. So I'll cut to the wide again. Nick Testa Jr. from San Francisco.
I have no idea. There's not a lot to go on there. I'm going to go with like techno.
It's called Small Talk Sucks, and we're listening 30 seconds in, which means I'm going to click this, and then I'm going to pause that, and then I'm not going to pause that. 30 seconds.
Don't want to get too real, or God forbid, tell the truth. Pleasantries that we say to the faces of our friends every day. So today, just know it's okay. You can talk to me today, even if it's hard to say.
I love that.
I like it.
It's great. It's very. It feels like a 2011 like teen flick film. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was Super Bad or something like that.
Well, yeah, it
Role
could have
models.
been in like American Pie or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really good. I love unexpected, unusual chord progressions as well.
Yeah,
That
100%. Where it
That
steps
works.
out,
Yeah,
it creates
yeah,
loads
yeah,
of
yeah,
tension.
yeah.
I've got. There's no. It's one of those. Sometimes we get some, and I'm like, oh, this person, bit of feedback might help them out.
What was the name?
The song or
No,
the artist?
the
Nick
artist.
Testa Jr.
So I think it would be good to know. Is that are they a band or
I think it's a one-man band situation.
one man band?
Yeah, he posted his Instagram, which is Nick Testa Testa Jr. And on that, I think it's just a personal Instagram. Basically, it says dad, husband, maker. So he's making music and humans, which is cool. Two of the coolest things you can make.
Yeah,
he looks like
because
a
I was
legend.
only thinking in terms of like discoverability, if that's something that he's sort of interested in. I don't know how I feel about Nick Testa Jr. Just putting like your whole name out there,
Yeah,
even if it's not his name.
NTJ. I don't know. That sounds like a politician.
No, that sounds like
Nick
some
Testa.
boy band
As well, but I think the TSTA, even if that is his name, is also feels searchable. But it's really good. It's a great
top,
sound.
Top job.
I
Loved it.
will put it right now live on the screen. Pop it on the playlist. Yeah, sometimes I feel
love-
bad when I don't have that much feedback to give.
I love like the fat, meaty sort of
Yeah.
guitar sound as well.
And in 30 seconds, and this again there could be people listening that submitted in the last few weeks that are like, oh, my song does this too. Maybe this is the timestamp being done right. But the dynamic variation in that 30 seconds was awesome. It built up, it broke down. There was a bit where it was just guitar. It was like, that's what you need. And it's like, you don't need that constantly. But in a song, you need to kind of have a bit of a journey. And we've just workshopped a few songs in our band where it was like, we were playing them, and I think at the end of it, we were like, oh, we're all a bit bored.
Flat,
Yeah, and then we've broken it down, and now suddenly it's exciting. It has some stabs, it has some stops, it has some halftime. But yeah, no, it's just a really well-structured, well-written song. That is from. He's got an album out called Minor Fall. There's an album and some singles there as well. So even more that you can check out from Nick Testa.
Nice.
And I want to be fair.
Nice.
It sounds bloody brilliant. So yeah, check him out. We're staying in America. We're going to Kansas City. Say that again. Kansas City. The band Say That Again.
Oh.
Kansas City. Like weird just for 30 minutes. Yeah, it's Say That Again from Kansas City. Thoughts? Any guesses?
Kansas. The only thing I know about Kansas.
Is there something to do with Dorothy?
That's where's Dorothy's from, innit? We're not in Kansas anymore.
Fair
I
enough.
have heard allegedly there's no Ubers in Kansas as well. That's a thing.
Ooh, Uberless. Wow. Does that influence music at all? You can't really make hip hop if there's no Ubers.
I think it's just a bit of a stupid Twitch thing.
Fair enough.
That's about it.
We're listening to Inside Out by Say That Again. Say That Again for me feels like a proper indie rock band.
Yeah.
I would hear like, do you know OK Go, the guys that did the treadmill music video?
Yeah.
That's what's in my head at the moment. I don't know
Oh my
why.
God, I haven't thought about those guys in ages.
Bloody good video.
Yeah,
They
if you've
crushed
never
it.
seen it, check it out. Okay, go.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what the song is
no,
good, but I can't remember
love
it.
the song. It's like you can put something in the quarter to 4. Here we go.
Oh,
Here
yeah,
we go.
yeah, yeah,
Here
yeah,
we go
that's
again.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
Inside Out. By Say
Yeah,
That
that was a
Again.
great song.
It's a good song.
I just remembered it.
Yeah, our
Great
next
song,
submission
great
is from
video.
OK Go. Yeah, I mean, and that's a different conversation about music videos, and the best music videos sometimes
Simple.
really simple.
Simple.
Sometimes they're
Like
not.
5 guys in a room with 5 treadmills.
We should do. How about next week we do a music video episode where we talk about the best music videos we can think of, and then we bring them up and like just not play all of them, but just flick through them.
Yeah, maybe.
I've got a few ideas for that. Really interesting songs. Anyway, Say That Again. Inside Out. I've gone OK Go vibes.
I don't know. Say that again. I know it sounds
OK
crazy.
Go vibes.
I'm gonna throw out boy band.
No, what really? Like
We haven't had a
multiple
boy
singers.
band. We haven't had a boy band.
They don't exist anymore.
Wow. Yeah,
We
there's
would
still boy
revive
bands,
them.
aren't there? There's still
We-
boy bands.
If this is a boy band right now, we'll be
I know
on
it's
national media.
I know. I've made a Hail Mary guess.
It's insane.
It's far out there, man.
That would be good. I'm saying national media. If this is a boy band, headlines: small indie podcast rediscover boy bands. It's Inside Out by Say That Again. They wanted 36 seconds, so let's try and skip to that.
It's not a boy band.
It sounds like I might be right with this one, but let's see. I can't. There it is. 36 seconds. Say that again. 36 seconds.
But who's the one you need the most when I had said I'm gone away? But I'm sitting here despite of all the things you had to say. You got me turning inside out.
I bloody love it.
It's really
I
good.
bloody love it.
It's really
That
good.
is
We've
so
gone.
good.
We've gone. This episode is very
The last 2
our
songs,
genre, innit?
right up our basket.
Yeah, right in the smudge pipe.
Hit me
That
right
is
in the
great.
bloody.
It's on the playlist. I've got nothing else. It was just really good.
Mate, I loved it.
I don't know the only thing. No, because that's probably the interface, to be honest. So
What?
I was going to say that the actual master of it felt almost flat. So like instead of the mix, it's like the overall song felt like it was just like one step down here instead of being up.
Maybe that
But
might just be us though.
I'll also say it could be an instrument thing, but comparing to the last submission, that felt a bit more whole and complete. But
Also, they had the more waspy sound for the guitars, which I think.
it's just cool.
Great,
It's such a
yeah.
good sound.
Yeah,
And again, and I say this every episode. I'm like, oh, the dynamics have to be interesting. It was.
Yeah,
It had like that
and
little stop. And then it
vocally
came
was
back
really
in.
good. I'm trying to pinpoint who he kind of reminds me of vocally, but I
I've
can't
not
really
got
think
that.
of it. But
It's very
good.
teenage dirtborg.
yeah,
It's very teenage dirtbag, like Wheatus. Like
I don't think it's not a Wheatus sort of thing. Oh, you just mean vocally?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, but it was great. That's great. That's right up my basket.
We love it.
The last 2 songs just made me really happy.
Also, I'll shout out that their Instagram. This isn't attacking the previous artist Nick, because that was just his personal account. Because his wife and children were on there. So he's been married to his wife. It looks like coming up 10 years.
We didn't show his wife and kids, did we?
Yeah, but he sent that. He sent that was it. I was like, what?
Okay.
Yeah, what social media should we put? And it was that. So
Yeah, okay.
we've got docs. It is weird. No, I felt weird. There's a point where I'm scrolling. If you watch back, there's a point where I'm scrolling for his Instagram, and I just scrolled to the top because I was like, I'm just stalking someone now. But congrats on the 10-year wedding anniversary coming up, Nick Testa. But say that again from Kansas City.
Nick Testa, congratulations on the wedding anniversary.
Say that again. It's a really fun name for a band.
Yeah, I love it
because I can't stop saying it again.
Yeah, I love it. Well, it's because we're idiots.
Yeah, we really are. But their social media, like I've just pulled it up, is really good. Like it's very. I think someone's running this, to be honest, unless one of them really likes social media. But it's really well put together. So it's a great example. Some of it is posters. Some of it is like gig shots. Some of it is posing. It's just a really good mix. And I think we've said millions of times that we're absolutely crap at social media. So but I always know good when I see it. My ambition's always been to have other people do it for us because I'm just like, I can't deal with it. It's so bad. That would say that again. That was. Say that again. Kansas City. It's so good. It's such a great sound. Thank you so much for the submission. We hope that we can listen to your music again. All you have to do is resubmit. Basically, I'll delete your submission. You can resubmit. Reach out. Let us know what you think. And we'll take it from there. One person that did do that, we had a submission from a local musician who goes by The Hiker, who's from Bracknell, just down the road. They submitted early doors up the Bees. Rest in peace, the Bees.
That's still a thing. Just
yeah, but they're Slough, haven't they? Have I already added him?
Oh, have you seen Basingstoke of their
Basingstoke Bison aren't going to be competing next year, but then they were like, we hope to see you the year after.
Yeah, but I think it's predominantly because they've got like renovation works.
This is a thing. So this is very local. So
Yeah.
we've just played a band in Kansas City.
From the Hiker.
Yeah, and even then, there's only a few hundred people watching hockey in the UK. Basically, the local teams here get hundreds of people. Maybe like 1,000 people would watch a game, and that would be like a sellout show. But Basingstoke, I think Planet Ice, the people that own all of the rinks around or most of the rinks around the UK, have announced a massive like renovation project for lots of their rinks, and I think it may be linked with that. So they may be going, actually, we're gonna resurface. We've played ice hockey at Basingstoke on a bad day, and it's like,
oh my God,
you will break your neck because there'll be
anywhere near the boards. Anywhere near the boards, you're going to break an ankle.
But I've played before as well, where before the session we go out to play, and you pay. They're supposed to resurface. Great.
We'd have to resurf.
We
would be out there
with shovels.
Yeah,
We'd be out there with shovels breaking the ice down, and then like scrape. It's insane.
Yeah.
So sad about that. Bees are in Slough now. That's sad.
We need to wrap this up. This is crazy.
Insane. But ages ago, one of the I think maybe first
this
10
is that whole
episodes,
ADHD thing coming back from before.
There are people watching after that contest who are like, you guys have something. I don't know what it is. We had a submission from a kind of a singer-songwriter who's like producing it himself. His band has grown. He now has bandmates. He's got a drummer coming in, so they're about to start gigging full band instead of acoustic. Really cool. Called The Hiker. They've dropped a few comments before. They've kept in contact with us. And because of that, we're going to play them again. Which I've said a few times. If you resubmit or if you keep commenting, you keep sharing, then we will just play your music again.
I did think it's funny because I read the comment and it was kind of relatable because it was like, I finally got all of these pieces together and stuff. It's a nightmare, isn't it? Sometimes
it's
in that early stages of the band to find band members that kind of they're just on board with what you want to do. And I think it's important to be on board. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we've had people that haven't worked out, and it's not for any other reason. And I just don't think they're just not into the project or whatever. But it is exciting once you get to that stage and you start sort of meeting up for rehearsals and you start playing and you start going, this is starting to sound pretty good.
Yeah,
You
we've
know?
only just got the wheels turning for this year, really, and it's quite late, so we're going to miss out on a lot of opportunities. But we're in such a good place.
Yeah.
And as a band, I think, as you say, the tough part is it's to go as an adult, right? Making friends is nearly impossible.
Oh yeah, because I'm
It's
a firm
awkward.
believer. Once you get past like 23, 24, I'm not interested in making new friends. I don't need any new friends.
Yeah.
I'll take the 4 or 5 I've got.
Yeah,
You
100%.
know, that's about it.
But that's kind of what being a band is that
Yeah.
you need to get a group of people, 4 or 5 people that have similar interests, that get on in a human level, but also the music is what they want to be making. So yeah, we had drummers come in that we got on with really well, but after 1 or 2 rehearsals, they were like, oh, this isn't the music I want to be playing. I want to be playing this genre, or I want to be, writing the song, whatever it is. So yeah, it is really tough, but they've got a band together now. So I thought it'd be really cool to check out one of their new songs. So this is The Hiker. I won't guess genre because we've had them on the show before, but we're going to go from 30 seconds.
Standing by all the friends, all the friends, all the friends to
That's the 30.
Yeah,
It's good.
I thought it was good.
Do you know what? Comment I was going to make,
What were you
and
gonna?
then it happened?
What?
Was the double tracked vocals? So I think he had a left and a right pan vocals. I believe as well. I read on his SoundCloud, but now I've lost confidence. I've lost my mouse as well. Where the hell's my cursor? It's on the other screen.
that is one of those things, right? That you never talk about, but it happens constantly.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're like, you start panicking.
I was
'cause you're
just
like,
losing it around.
If you're like at work or something and you're like trying to get stuff done, and then all of a sudden you can't find your mouse.
What confused me the most as well, and I'll go back to what we were talking about, but my mouse was on the share screen here, and so I guess to break the illusion, not the illusion, I have my laptop, and then we have another monitor that has all of the cameras on it, and one of those cameras is the share screen when I share my monitor. So my mouse is
So your
on the
mouse is
share
on-
monitor, but then I look down here and I was like, where is it? But it's because it's over the... well, anyway. Yeah, recorded and mixed by The Hiker, by the band, but I think that's mainly Ian, I imagine, has produced it himself on an 8-track mixing desk. So it's a self-produced. He's double-tracked the vocals. I thought it sounded really nice. It kind of gave it like a Dylan-y vibe.
Yeah, a bit eerie.
Yeah.
Sort of like kind of thing to it.
And then in that chorus, a part of me was like, I wish the vocals would start deviating from each other. And then they did. Yeah. So one of them stayed on the note and the other did the melody. And then they did normal harmonies. But it was a really nice evolution in terms of from a production standpoint. It sounded really good. There's things...
I was going to say, because I was going to kind of make a note, but I mean, these notes aren't anything to do with like production or anything, so it's completely personal preference, so feel free to just ignore everything I say and go like, you're wrong. But I felt like there needed to be maybe a little bit of variation in the drums. I felt like the drums were just a little bit repetitive.
Sure. Okay. That's interesting. I don't know if it's partially where they sat on the mix as well.
Maybe. Just something didn't quite hit right with the drums.
I struggle with this, and I've said before, when we do recordings, we've got some recordings that we're trying to release now, and a couple of them I listen to, and I'm like, I say to the drummer of our band produces our music, and I'm like, I'm really sorry, this is one of those things that people will say at a gig where they're not musical people, and they give musical feedback, and it means that they can't, where I'm like, it just doesn't sound right. Like, it doesn't sound like it's at the right place, so I think that partially may be it, that the drums had, I don't know if they had too much room or where they sat in the mix wasn't quite right, but I do get what you're saying. That's what I was about to say, is that there's maybe some mixing that could be tweaked a bit, but overall the song sounds awesome.
Yeah, I didn't have any quarrels.
I hope one of the people that you've brought into the project, because you probably didn't buy them,
maybe,
can sing. and can do some harmonies and join you, but that's always tough. Like, getting musicians together is one thing, then getting one of them to be able to sing, but I hope that's the case, because I think that'd be really nice live.
It'd be good, yeah, it'd be good to have that live.
It's hard to do.
It's
hard.
Sure.
People,
I mean, we spend
so
much. We spend a lot of time on our harmonies, and it's mainly just because it's like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, we're like, it'd be nice to have a harmony there, and I'm like, I can't play what I'm playing.
Yeah. What do you want?
and harmony.
What do you want? Me doing this riff?
I find it's one of the hardest things ever, right, to play like a riff or something.
Yeah.
And like sing. I find it so hard.
I think I was quite lucky that, and this isn't a flex, but fuck it can be a flex. When I first learned guitar, I got a cheap little Spanish guitar. I learned the song "Whistle for the Choir" by the Fratellis, which where the hell is my mouse? Which is quite a complicated song, but it taught me like
how to whistle.
It taught me like bar chords. It taught me an E shape. It taught me like really important shapes to then get enough through. Yeah, you put your lips together like this. But when I learnt that song, I always knew when I was learning guitar that I didn't want to be an amazing guitarist. I wanted to be able to play.
Amazing whistler.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Every time I laugh, I cough. So stop being funny. We need this to be a flat episode with no laughs. But what it meant was, I learnt that song, singing it.
Right.
So I learned the first song I ever learned. I learnt chords and then I sung the song. So it's like, I don't even know what it's like, but I developed the skills at the same time. So at no point I couldn't just play guitar because I was always just playing songs and singing. So I think that helped because what you would do is you would learn guitar and you would have to focus on the guitar and then it's like, okay, and now sing. And it's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Whereas I think I just avoided that somehow. So I think if there was a kid that was like, oh, I want to be like a singer-songwriter, build it up together so they're both strengths and nothing's a weakness, basically. But
yeah.
I don't know. This is a weird tangent from
the
hiker. Love the submission though. I love. We've seen it a few times. The kind of evolution of projects, and that'll be really exciting to see what happens.
It's so cool to see someone that was obviously like just an individual.
I'd love to cross paths at some point.
And then now they're like part of the band and they're starting to sort of like
open it up.
Yeah.
It's an interesting dynamic as well because it's going from the project it's Ian has the project The Hiker and that was his music, but he's now like The Hiker is a band. So it's like interesting to, do you keep control like creatively? Do you open it up that way? But there's always some development that's going to happen when you let other people play stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like that's like we see it in our rehearsals all the time. Pretty much all of us at some point are like, oh, maybe we should do this, or maybe or that doesn't sound quite right, or
I would say there are songs I've written that are only good because of Arash.
Yeah, for sure.
And then like you've now, because we've said before that when you started you weren't a huge, amazing, brilliant guitarist. You were kind of like you were like picking it up and learning as you're going. Yeah. But now you're at a point where you'll bring guitar stuff to the table as well. So we'll be playing a chorus and I'm like, oh, there's something else happening here that I didn't create, and that's really cool because that's when you can enjoy a song because it's not just you.
Yeah.
Whereas anything that is just me, I will always be critical of. Like there's a recording we have that's going to come out, and I did the guitars for it, and I kind of went off and put it together. But it means that I'm hypercritical of that compared to something where everyone's involved. Big yawn.
Sorry, I'm a bit sleepy. I feel like I'm sleepy every episode now.
I didn't sleep at all last night because Max didn't sleep, and when you have a son that doesn't sleep,
you don't sleep.
You don't sleep, and he was in the bed, and I think he's a bit unwell or something. He just wanted to cuddle. But here's the thing, it means I couldn't sleep because he would be like, I'm going to cuddle and put my head here, and then you're like, okay, cool, and now I'm trying to sleep, so it just didn't happen. I got to bed at 5:30 and then woke up at 7 to come and do this. Should we spin the wheel?
Yeah.
Wheel of Fortune. I called this one Wheel of the Fourth Tune.
Okay, spin that.
Spin it, girl. Stuffy Shmitt. That's brilliant.
And the winner of the best name contest is...
I don't think it's going to get better than that.
Stuffy Shmitt.
Stuffy Shmitt.
I
fucking love it so
love
much. It's so good. We need to be careful. What if that's his name?
Stuffy. First name Stuffy. Second name Schmidt.
Wilder stuff has happened. From the top, he said, for this. He's from Nashville.
Nashville.
I'm assuming Tennessee.
Maybe not, though.
You're the only 10 I see.
How
do you feel about
that? No, what's his name again?
Stuffy Shmitt.
Yeah, I know.
I just wanted you to say it. Well, that's not how. Oh, thank God I wasn't sharing the screen then, because I was an old person just happened.
Stuffy Shmitt.
Okay.
Create social media ads with Fiverr.
Great social media ads with Fiverr B.
Yeah.
And if you are AI, you can get people to do your captures on there too.
Yeah.
This episode.
Or blind.
Yeah. Maybe you're blind and you're pretending to be a robot.
You don't want people to know you're blind.
Yeah. We're exclusively looking to hire AI for this, and he's like, I am.
Shit.
Yeah, amazing. So, have you got a guess? Stuffy Shmitt from
Nashville. How the hell do you guess Stuffy Shmitt?
It's brilliant.
I think it has to be like DJ sort of.
I don't know. I think
it has to be. I'm gonna go sort of like maybe lo-fi hip hop.
I don't want to have an advantage on you, so I am just gonna cut to the screen that we're on.
Is that Stuffy?
Is that
Schmitt?
Stuffy?
I don't know. I hope so.
Schmitty. Stuffy Shmitt from Nashville. And Nashville, Tennessee. You want to say country, but
I don't know. Kings of Leon are from Nashville.
Are they? Stuffy Shmitt, I think, is like a fun indie band, and I'm just going to say it because, with the exception of the Hiker, who were more folk rock, I would say, the other two were indie. So I'm going to say it's indie, and I'll say it has some synth in it.
Right.
Some
Okay.
like I was going to say Two Door Cinema Club, but they're completely guitar driven.
Okay.
Who's the other band? There's another band like Two Door Cinema Club, but not necessarily Two Door Cinema Club, that have synth. Cool. From the top, it's Stuffy Shmitt. Oh, I paused it. I don't know how that happened.
Everybody's getting sick. My best friend is a dick. Watch his honey now, she does a trick. Ooh, mama, ooh, mama, ooh. Ooh, mama, ooh, mama, ooh. I was at the Shark Bar.
I fucking love it. I fucking love it.
It's so good.
I don't know what I was expecting, right, when you said he's called Stuffy Shmitt.
Yeah.
And all of my
It makes
expectations
sense.
blown out of the water.
Do you know what I mean? Like, contextually, like, if your name is like Death Fist or something, you need metal.
Yeah.
If your name's Stuffy Shmitt, I didn't know what that would be. But now I've heard it, I'm like, yeah, it's
Makes
that.
sense.
It's that. It was like indie rock with synth, so I got that bit right. I wouldn't have guessed the vocals, though. The vocals were then like classic rock vocals.
It was more classic rock vocals. That I love the synthy bit.
That song was Billy Kilowatt by Stuffy Shmitt, which the naming is bloody brilliant.
yeah, bloody
Stuffy
top
Shmitt.
job.
I can't stop saying it, and the only
Stuffy
reason I
Shmitt.
can't stop saying it, I'm seeing
Here's
it.
the thing, right? I'm never gonna forget the name Stuffy Shmitt.
No. Sometimes we'll be cleaning up our like database of people to play, and I'm like, have we heard these before? And if I go, have we heard Stuffy Shmitt before? Like,
And also, we regularly give feedback on band names and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about this band name. Not that memorable or hard to search for. Stuffy Shmitt.
Okay, technical issue just happened there.
Holy
I
balls.
cannot. Right, so we've just been speaking for an hour and 20 minutes. obviously I've seen OBS before. Now I'm thinking about it rationally. I've been back and forth on OBS. So I've known that we've recorded most of it. But to go back onto OBS after listening to Stuffy Shmitt and to see a little thing tell me that I've run out of space and the recording has stopped, and I'm like, I don't know when that stopped. Like, we could have talked for 5 minutes and then it stopped, and then we could have continued. And here's the thing, if that had happened, there would not be a podcast this week because I've got stuff to do today.
And also, you can't recreate what we've just spoken about.
Or the other thing the only way a podcast would have happened if that had stopped like anywhere near the start is if we were like, okay, tomorrow we'll come back and we'll just completely redo a podcast.
I don't even want to think about it. But it hasn't happened. It cut off. We are missing a little bit of what we spoke about after Stuffy Shmitt.
I'm gonna jump back to just saying back onto the Stuffy Shmitt. We spoke for a while, and now I feel bad because I think what's happened is cut out just after we've listened to Stuffy Shmitt, just after we've expressed that we bloody love it. Did it cut
out when we were talking about madness?
I think it cut out when we were talking about madness. So
it sounds like madness.
We said that it sounds like an English band, Madness, but then we realised that they may not know who that is.
Who Madness is, and then you went
Chaz and Dave.
Rabbit, and I said that's Chaz and Dave, you idiot. That's Chaz and Dave, you idiot.
Right,
I'm talking about Madness. Our house in the middle of a street, Madness.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if we didn't realise that this bit is actually all in there. It's like
that
twice.
Would be funny.
We're just like recreating what we've just spoke about.
I just flashed.
But yeah, we were just saying that vocally it sounds a bit like Madness, who are incidentally a band that will be in festivals when no one.
Oh my god! You're trying. All right, what I said, and again, this could be in it because we've not listened to all of it, but I don't think it is. I said Madness for me are the band when in the UK, if you go to a festival and you kind of vaguely know the artists. So like the 4th place this time from X Factor, right? Or this person was in the semi-finals of Britain. If those people are coming on the stage, main stage at a festival,
like what's his name? Gareth
Gates,
yeah.
Gareth Gates, sure. Maybe Susan Boyle if it's a big one. Those people will come on. It's headlined by Madness.
Yeah.
Maybe Ronan Keating, but probably Madness.
And then Chaz and Dave second.
Chaz and they're headline the other stage. Yeah. Oh no, Lana Del Rey headlines the other stage. Shout out.
We can put them fun there now.
We got her. I'm not going to out anyone here. Someone messaged me about Lana Del Rey, and they said, after what you said.
But me?
No, me.
Okay.
Because obviously I gave some feedback on listening to Lana Del Rey. I wanted to blow my brains out, basically. They were like, I was like, oh, I haven't listened to Lana Del Rey, I'll try it. They were like, it's the most depressing thing I've ever heard. They did not like it at all. And it was someone that I was like, they probably could have, like, I saw the message being like, because of you, I listened to Lana Del Rey, and I was like, oh god, this is going to be bad. They were like, nah, depressing, terrible, brutal music.
Well, apparently this is another thing I read earlier.
Oh god.
She has now got 79% of the physical market at the moment in sales, like for music. 79%.
That's crazy.
But then I also read something about she's got like 11 different versions of her album. Like 11 versions that are different from each other.
Yeah, that's weird. Weird.
But fair play.
I could hear that the album was her douchey album. I think I said that's what I said last week.
If that's what people like, that's what people like. It is garbage, right?
Can we talk about some better music and just wrap up Stuffy Shmitt?
Yeah.
That I love the submission. This week has been perfect for music for us. It's been in our wheelhouse, and I don't know if this is in. I said about Sims and some of the other artists in the last few weeks. The best artists we've had have been outside of our of our genre that we typically listen to. This week has been phenomenal. I was having a look at Stuffy Shmitt, and they've got some really cool accolades as well. Some stuff about their albums. They say they're on Californication, which I don't think you remember hearing them.
No, I don't.
But
I've seen the show. It's a great show.
You and I are different.
You should watch the show. It's great. David Duchovny, fantastic.
They performed the original soundtrack and theme song for the award-winning children's film Whatever Happened to the Dinosaurs. That might be an American film.
It's not Land Before Time, is it?
Maybe it is.
That's like the
It's
American, name of it.
Yeah. Because
No, Land Before Time is American.
it was a joke. It was a bloody joke. Thank you so much for the submission. It was really good. I loved it. Stuffy Shmitt, everybody. That's stuffyshmitt.com. I'll chuck them on the playlist as per usual. And that's kind of it.
I say I've got nothing else.
I don't think I had anything else, really, because nothing really happened. One of the April Fools that I was talking about, do you know how lots of artists have been doing April Fools? Lewis Capaldi's was the best one I've heard so far, or seen so far.
What was it?
Where he was like, ladies and gentlemen, Ed Sheeran, like this, and he reaches his hands up.
Oh, I did see that.
And then he just turns it into flipping off the crowd.
Yeah.
I was like, he did it in a funny way. But anyway,
Yeah, no, it's good.
that's our podcast. If you want to support us, go to indianashow.com. If you want to support us in a different way,
just hit
like
the
and
sub.
subscribe.
Just hit the sub.
If you want to support us verbally, send us a voice note at indianashow
Don't do that.
at
I don't want
gmail.com.
Voice notes? That's crazy.
And we'll play the voice note on the podcast. If you want to be featured, just call 0777. No, just can you imagine? But I read your number out somehow. I had it up here. Yeah. Let us know what you think. Leave a comment if you want your music played next week, and you've already submitted. Leave a comment. We'll play it. Have a good week, everyone. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
I hope you guys rolled eggs
roll
like
eggs.
stones, and you
Roll
said
your eggs.
thanks to Jesus.
And eat lots of chocolate because that's relevant.
Absolutely. Hope you liked that episode, YouTube. Ciao.